Welcome to this week's edition of Three Peas in a Pod podcast. You rocking with Trinity Team, the beautiful C Love, and the homie Mike Lowry. I know y'all ain't been living under a rock, so we're gonna get right into it because it hit me close to home, man. These escapees from New Orleans, they caught 5 of them. Other 5 is still on the loose. So I have actually a 2-part question for y'all today. So the first being, if your friends or your family or any of them was on a run that was related to you, would you help them out or would y'all turn them in?
Before you answer, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Wait, hold on. What was the reward?
uh let me double check. Hold up. Hold up.
I think it was $1 million, wasn't it?
Nah, I
No, it
think it's
wasn't
like
that high.
I think it's like 2,000.
$2,000.
No,
I
10,000.
okay,
10,000 per escapee. 10K.
okay,
I
got
just
you.
read it right now.
Okay, so you got 10,000 on the line before you answer.
I'm gonna go
Answer,
off.
go ahead.
Oh,
Go ahead. I can't hear you.
um, if it's a family member, I probably wouldn't. I've been put in that situation already at a very young age.
Hmm.
And no, we didn't give that person up. We did everything we could to keep them under the radar. Now, if
Hmm.
Okay.
it's somebody I don't know, don't let me see one of them running around here because maybe I'm dialing that number so fast.
Right, I'm the same. Like, don't let me see your ass sleeping outside. I'm gonna report your ass fast. But like if it's a family member, no. So like if it's a family member, like I'm gonna give you some money and I'm gonna help your ass escape, because I'm gonna help you escape. But I'm gonna think of a game plan because I don't want you calling my phone because in this situation, those phones are tapped, so they're gonna know already where you're going. But yeah, I'm gonna find a way to give you some money, hey, go out the country, yeah. But yeah.
Well, I'm a law-abiding citizen and I got a
There we
family. Your
go.
ass going to jail. You come over here.
There we go.
I'm about to be 10K richer. You come over here. So don't call my phone if you want to run. I
What the
got a
guy
2-year
say?
old son. You're going to jail, man. I'm not harboring no fugitive. It's a federal crime. I don't need nothing else on my record.
Oh my
I'm a
God.
law-abiding citizen. And if you rock
Money.
with me, if you say you my family and friend, you ain't gonna put me in no position where I gotta choose between you or the family because you're going on a long vacation. So I'm telling you right now.
Okay, so look though. So are you doing this for the money or what?
Nah, honestly, I'm gonna answer truthfully though. I probably would do what you do, what you said, because I would say, hey, I don't want you over here. I don't want you calling me. But because you are family or you are friends, then I'll say, hey, I don't. You gotta get out of town. I may give you money to take a trip somewhere, but you're not staying here. That part I mean.
Hmm. Yeah.
And it's because I don't want to be in position of the U.S. Marshals over here. You already know how they coming.
Right. But I heard one of the dudes killed himself. Is that true? People have been posting fake articles
No,
online, but I
that's
don't know.
fake, man. 5 of them still on the 5 caught, 5 still on the loose, and they got
Right.
a betting pool in New Orleans. I'm close to the homies. They got a betting pool on who gonna be last to get caught.
Yep. I already put my bid in already. I got Jermaine or what's the dude, Massey?
Hmm. You don't think
Yeah.
Groves?
Nah, I don't know. I got them two because them two was already in jail before. No,
Yeah,
no, no. I think it was Mask, and then he got caught. He got caught. I think a decade ago in Texas.
right.
Yeah,
But Grove killed 4 people and they killed his grandma. Remember, the
yeah.
police
I seen
killed
that
his
too.
grandma. Yeah. So
I
he
seen that
on,
too.
and he the smartest. He ain't. he the one that ain't do nothing like suspect yet. Suspect in the aspect of being a dumb criminal is what I mean. So
Right.
yeah, I'm like, nah, I think homie gone. I think he's somewhere in Mexico near the border.
Mm. Yeah, I seen that too, but I ain't know. But I didn't know if it was true because it was so many people. It was so many people from Louisiana was coming and was like, "I can't. I got to stop believing this dumb shit. You know, this is false
Yeah,
rumors."
the homie go live every day about it, man. I just don't be want to like chime in, but yeah, that's
Mm.
all they talking about right now. That's the hottest topic in the city right now.
Right. Yeah.
So the second part question, and this one is kind of funny because this gives me an insight to how y'all think.
You
Both of
ready?
y'all,
You
C
ready?
Love and Mike Lowry. So if
Yeah.
we gonna start with you, C Love, because you the most sneakiest being a woman.
Nah,
if
y'all.
you if you were one of the escapees, you yourself got out of prison, would you try to like blend in with normal society, or would you like be like, nah, I'm getting out of town? How would you handle that?
Or would you go to like a close friend or like a close relative? Like, what would you do if you
No
the
way. I
situation?
know. Are y'all crazy? Because they already know who you're affiliated with. They already know who's been writing you. They already know who you're calling. So they're obviously going to check those places first.
Yep.
So,
Mm-hmm.
Public records.
no, I'm getting out. I'm not letting nobody know nothing. I'm about to get to building a tunnel and stay underground for a long time if possible.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep, yep, I agree. Because I've been seeing I've been seeing a lot of comments when people been saying they didn't have no game plan when they escaped, which is right. But some folks been saying, "Oh, you supposed to leave the country," but they're not understanding. Well, what money? You been in jail. What money? What money you got to flee the country? You know. So
Mm-hmm.
like if it was me, if it was me, what I would do, I would not contact my family members because public records, so they already know who you affiliate with. You know, so if I do have to contact somebody, it'll be like a friend, like not a friend that's like on my record, so the police would think that I will, be in contact with, but it would be a friend, and that will only be for a reason, just to get some money or some help, so I can like leave or something like that, or I'll probably be in the woods for a minute. You know what I'm saying? Or something like that,
I
just
do.
to hide out.
What would you survive off of though? Just if it's hot, it's hot.
I,
And
hey.
Louisiana got gators and shit. Hell nah.
And you know they
I'm not
already
going to no woods, no water, none of that.
Shit.
they arrested two girls already for helping them out, for giving them money and food.
Yeah,
Wow.
I seen one of them was like the grandma. I think I seen it this morning.
Yeah.
One of them like the grandmama, the grandmother.
One was a grandma and one was like a sister or cousin or something. But yeah, they arrested them because they said that they gave them food, and that's basically harboring a fugitive.
Yeah, so like I said, they had a call or something like that. Them phones tapped.
But that's a tactic because ain't nobody about to let their people get arrested for them. That's a tactic to say, come back,
Mhm.
I threaten them, all of that stuff so they could drop the charge on your people and then hit you with that 10-year escape charge on top of what you was already about to get.
Right.
But
You
this
know
why
what?
I don't think homie gonna get caught because you facing like that penalty type charges. So you
Uh,
really, you really thinking about like your life. And then in his mind, when you facing those type of sentences, he probably thinking it's better for him to die anyway than to go sit in there.
yep.
Then
Right.
go, yeah.
What's real funny? I don't know if it's true or not, but I seen an article too where I think it was Grove. Um, um, his aunt is convincing him to turn himself
Turn
in.
himself in, yeah, trying to get him to
Yeah.
turn himself in.
Yeah, I would have called that ass private and tell her shut the hell up, or she gonna be next. It's like,
Me,
don't do that, bro.
I'm trying to head to the border. So I would hit Mexico, and then from Mexico, I would do like reverse coyote. So I would hit Mexico to get to like Honduras or somewhere else.
But
Hola,
how?
señorita. Horses and carriage. Time
But
to
how?
go. Huh?
How?
If I got 4 bodies under my belt, then the best way I know how. So if I'm already on the run and I can't
George
contact
finna
any
start
people,
growing that hair out, that facial hair.
I know I need to shave it down. So I got to get money the best way I
Look,
know how. If I'm already on
Exactly.
the run, so that's, and I hate to
What?
say it, that may be robbing, stealing, all the negative stuff that comes with that. But just to get money in order to lead, that's why it's an all around bad situation. I think, man.
Right.
But jail, prison, I can't say jail, but I will say prison. Incarceration of any form is probably the closest thing to hell on earth, in my opinion. And I'm telling you from experience because in order to survive, you gotta become like a savage because you're amongst savages. So you gotta be that or you're gonna be food. And then all the stuff that goes on with that, like it's its own little city in politics. So you being a stand-up guy, um, defending yourself, the fights, all of that. But then you got other guys that's gonna have a life sentence or higher years, and then they sleeping with punks and like all kind of stuff, man. So it's like I'm telling you, it's the closest thing to hell on earth if you really want to know. So I could see somebody that been there saying, "I'm never going back." When I came
typing.
home, yeah, I used to say you gonna watch it on CNN before I let you put me in handcuffs again. Huh?
Who's typing? It sounds so loud.
No, I
Oh,
hear crackling. Oh,
my bad.
that,
That's me.
that's
That
you.
is that.
Yeah.
I
I'm opening
Yeah,
up on one of my packages.
I kind of want to stay on this topic because I know y'all not familiar with it either, and I purposely bringing it up right now. So Louisiana Senate Bill 218, it got deaded yesterday, so it's not gonna pass anyway. But in essence, what this bill does, I don't know if you guys familiar with the judicial system in general. So every state now you have to have a unanimous verdict of 12-0 that's saying you guilty to get a conviction. Prior to 2018, Louisiana and Oregon was 10-2. They were the only ones that you could have a 10-2 verdict and get a conviction. But now,
Mm,
after 2018, it all has to be 12-0. Oregon made theirs retroactive, meaning everybody that was convicted under a 10-2 law got a retrial or got let go. So Louisiana tried to bring that to the floor last year. Last year I went to Baton Rouge front page at the steps because that affected me personally with the stuff with my brother. And if anybody you guys love like get killed, and I'm being serious here, there's only 2 ways you're gonna handle that. You're gonna crash out and retaliate,
mm,
or you're gonna be on the positive side. At this point in my life, as a grown man with people under me, I tend to go the positive route. So I
right.
went to Baton Rouge last year. It got killed at the floor level. So this year, a local senator, a guy by the name of Royce Duplessis, tried to bring it up again. And he tried to bring it up under racial stuff, saying that it was a Jim Crow law and that if the people in Louisiana don't get retried, then it's basically saying okay to the slave owners back in the day. So yesterday I talked to all of the senators, um, and I gave them my input from a victim's family standpoint. And I said, if you let all 12, because it's 1,200 of them that it would affect in Angola, you let 1,200 inmates out of jail, you know different than the 10 that escaped that you claim you're looking for in New Orleans right now, because that's a slap in the face to those families or those people that can't come back and can't talk for themselves. And if they were murderers in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, probably even early 2000s, you can't find those witnesses again. So what's going to happen is you give those people a get out of jail free card. So I told them that the alternative to that is review on a case by case basis. And those cases that you deem suspect or people lied or it was racially motivated, then let those guys out or give them clemency or have a board to discuss. But you letting all 1,200 inmates out at one time, you're going to cripple the judicial system. So now
Mm,
that y'all know that, I want to know y'all thoughts about it.
mm.
Do
I
you
don't
think
know.
it? Do you think it's? Let me ask you the questions that I think you could speak on. Do you think is Do you think it's a black and white thing, a racial thing, for it not to pass, or do you think it should be looked at on a case by case basis?
I'll respond. I think it should be looked at on a case by case basis.
Hmm.
Obviously, I think the system is based definitely off of race.
Hmm.
Um, anyone of color seems to get the shit short end of the stick.
Hmm.
So I feel like it should be on a case to case. Look at the evidence at hand and see what we have based off of 20 years ago or when the crime was committed, and go
Hmm.
from there. That's my opinion.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree too. Yeah, case by case. Like, that's mean. I agree too. Exactly what you said. The case by case. Like, you got to look at the case, and go from there.
All right.
Hmm.
Lastly, I want to lighten it up a little bit now. Lastly, we're gonna talk about Diddy trial because I know y'all been following it. You saw Kid Cudi testify. um, I at first I didn't think he was gonna get found guilty, but now I take that back and I think they laid the foundation in the beginning to where they pinpoint now to say you the money man, so you paid all of these people. So it will be a conspiracy. I just didn't see a RICO act with just Cassie testifying, saying all the stuff that happened with her. And then like she was a part of it. So I'm again, it's never okay to like beat a woman, but I thought she was gonna be like a co-conspirator with the stuff she was doing. But um, with this one, the peeing and all that craziness that went on with Diddy was doing with her again is not right. I got a mama, I got a wife, I got a daughter, so I stand on the side of what's right. But I think after Kid Cudi testified that Diddy burned his car for dating her and all of the other stuff, I think they're gonna find him guilty, man. So I want to know y'all thoughts on that too.
I think they're bringing on other witnesses, and I think the more witnesses that they bring on, kind of throws him, like, puts him in a deeper hole.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Cassius is like a main, like, star witness, obviously, because she
Hmm.
was with him for so long, so she knows how a lot of things were handled. Um, but I was hoping to give some, like, foundation to that they would have other people who would be testifying that were not, scared to do so. Um, it looks like he hurt a lot of people. So it's not just one person. Like, it's not Cassie versus Diddy. It's like it's the state. He damaged a lot of people, and a lot of artists is what it sounds like. So I don't know. He should have just made better choices. I know he made that video apologizing and stuff like that, saying that he was in a dark space and stuff like that, but
No,
it
it's too
just
late
it,
for
it
that.
all caught up to him. You know.
The drug usage is what shocked me because we used to seeing like the glamour and so to
Mhm.
know that like he was on coke and pills and I'm like, yo, you couldn't tell none of that by just looking at him.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, he always seemed like a positive person, like a
Right.
positive and a good mood person. Like, you never really heard anything crazy, but then again, it's like you never heard anything crazy because people were paid off. So makes sense
Yeah, that
to
was my
me.
next question. I was gonna ask, like, I don't really be all into that, but I heard like a lot of those people they had to sign like NDA to where they couldn't speak about it.
Right.
Yeah.
Cause
So
that,
that's
but that's if you take the money. So that's what I always say. If anything happened with you with any celebrity and they pay you off, you're gonna have to sign an NDA saying you can't speak about it again.
well.
So it's like, all right, do I want the money and I shut up unless something else happens? Or do I say no, I'm about to speak my mind and like go off?
Yeah, of
And a
course, I
lot of
take the
people are
money.
saying that she ran out of money and that's why now she's speaking up, and that some people are also saying like she was already paid off. Like, why are you even going up there and testifying? So I think she deserves to speak her truth. She's a mom now with kids, and I feel like
Mhm.
once you have kids, it gives you like a different mind frame. And I think she's just finally gaining like that courage. I don't think it's a money thing with her.
Yeah, I agree. No more. Take that. Take that. I think it's a she's at a different part in her life. But from the stripper dude that testified, he was like Cassie, the one that used to pay him. So that's why I was like, that sounds like some co-conspirator stuff versus somebody that was a victim. But when you look back, it's like, no, he was older than her, so he mentally manipulated her and then
Yeah.
got her to where like she couldn't leave because he controlled everything.
Yeah. She was dependent on him.
Right. So I'm
Yeah.
like, nah, that's still a form of manipulation to where
And
like
abused.
she yeah, like she can't move, she can't do nothing. And you got on the Biggie shirt today.
Go figure. I feel bad for her, but I mean, kudos to her, and I think kudos to her husband for being able to sit there and support her and hear how she was treated. I know it's not easy to hear, how someone you love was treated that way. So
And
I
did
don't
you
know.
hear his
I
statement?
hope.
What you think about his statement, the husband?
Yeah,
I haven't been
I read
watching
the
it. What's his
statement
statement?
because he was saying he said something about everyone thinks that he saved her, something like that, and then
Yeah.
he was like
He
that
said
Cassie
everybody think I saved
herself.
Cassie, but Cassie saved Cassie. And she
Yeah.
was at the hands of a demon. And I stand by my wife, and nothing happened is my wife's fault. And I love her, and she brought
Hmm.
like sunshine to me. And I'm gonna stand by her side until the end of time. And my wife, like, is the definition of strength. So of course, all the most of the men was like bashing him and was like, "Who is this simp ass dude? Like, what is he talking about?" But all of the women, I was because I'm famous for reading the comments. So all of the
Mhm.
women was like, "That's the definition of a real man," and like take notice. And so that's why I asked what's y'all thoughts on that.
Yeah.
I got you.
So what you
I
Yeah,
think, Mike?
I think that's good.
I
I
ain't really been
think
in the loop.
that's someone who's gonna love you should love you
Mhm.
past all of your flaws and your past. And yeah, definitely think that's her
And
blood.
that's what he's saying. He said all of that stuff is in the past, is behind us. We don't dwell on the past. So I
No,
love that actually. I like that he stood up for his woman because like I said, most men would have probably walked off because I was like, I know she told him some of it, but she ain't tell him all of that stuff. She gave him a fraction. So then when stuff comes out like somebody peeing in your mouth and all this craziness, you like, man, ain't no way in hell. Like so for him to like look past all that, like that's real love, man. Like for real.
I
yeah,
feel
that's
like
rough.
too, in a sense, I see that like his kids are always going to the court and stuff like that. I used to feel bad for his daughters, but I read something saying that one of his daughters was like laughing at Cassie when she was testifying. I don't think they should let them in there. I mean, I
Yeah,
know
I
nobody
agree.
has to say so. I think they're not kids; they're all adults. But I feel like that's still like intimidating, like a witness, especially if they're around for everything and obviously they know what's been going on. Um, so yeah, I don't think that's okay either.
All right. Y'all got anything else for this week?
No, not for me. I'm trying to keep my coming in on that one because when you said that about the P and the math, so I'm like, man, that's some strong.
Love, I know. I already know what you thinking. Man, I wouldn't be able to do it, man.
I said, let me shut the fuck up on that one.
But that's
But
that's love.
but I ain't been,
Love.
yeah. But I ain't been watching it, so I don't know
Yeah.
exactly what's all been going on because a lot of things I've been watching. But yeah,
But I will say this: like everybody got a pass, bro. So men and women.
Yeah.
But you're gonna have to. So if you meet somebody, you like I say, I ain't nobody gonna go into depth about everything they done or everything they've been through. So I know him
right.
hearing some of that stuff was a shocker, but the fact that he stood up and was there, I was like, nah, my hat go off to him because that showed like he really do love
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
her. Yeah.
I need some therapy on that one, brother. But yeah,
Well, that's all we have for this week, man. We hope y'all was enlightened. We'll catch y'all again next week. Signing off, Trinity Team, Mike Lowry, the beautiful C Love. Until next week.
Yes.
all right. Peace out.